Libra, hello and welcome to your weekly reading. Happy birthday for the 6th through the 13th. Happy birthday to you, Libras. We're going to get two Goddess Power Oracle cards. We've got Bronwyn Forgiveness for the empowerment message, and she's a 7. So 777, there is some divine messages coming through. Maybe some of you guys born on the 7th of October are opening up to forgiveness. And we don't always need to know what it is that we need to forgive, Libra. It's just a matter of allowing for the feelings to pass without that scathing energy of judgment. Ooh, we got Nostra, New Beginnings, 13. Very interesting because this week starts at 13 degrees Libra and we move into the 13th onto 20 degrees Libra. So it feels like with forgiveness and new beginnings, we'll be turning a page, harmonizing our energy with what we really feel, and then allowing for those feelings to come into a sublime state where we aren't just jerked around by unconscious desires and aggression or anger or wrath, but true forgiveness. That's a much more powerful magnet for the divine to work through us. We've got play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious, Dita Von Teese in a martini glass. And do I see a whale? No, just what's called a sun bunny apparently, or a solar eclipse. You know, that's exactly what it is. There's a solar eclipse in this card. I have the feeling that the solar eclipse brought out some level of a desire to just have more fun, to feel like you could forgive yourself for maybe all those nights that you stayed up working way past your bedtime and you were just exhausted. And now that we're turning into these new beginnings, which there is also, these are separate decks, but there's also a solar eclipse on her forehead. So there's big solar eclipse clearing energy, cutting away. Bronwyn, forgiveness, empowerment message. Sometimes life invites us into conditions that challenge us to the core. As the Celtic goddess Bronwyn forgave those who caused her own death by a broken heart, she asks you to set yourself free from the seeds of resentment that will surely choke the life out of your dreams. And that resentment is not conducive to play. We can't be resenting people and having fun at the same time. We have to pick one. We are wounded by others and weave stories about our hurts and losses that live on in our hearts and minds. We come to distrust the potential of love and connection. No matter what your story is or when it began, forgiveness is the key to freedom here. Forgiveness allows for mending and repair, opening the heart to give and receive. If you need to forgive yourself or others, now is the time to do it. Keep your heart open and you can begin again. Only beauty, freedom, and treasures are found in the spirit of forgiveness. The goddess Bronwyn is here to support you. And now we have Nostra, New Beginnings, for the alignment message. Look to the potential hidden in promising connections and opportunities. The difficulty arises when you think you already know how something will go. You might do something prematurely or miss an amazing experience that's right in front of you because you're looking in another direction. The real lesson is not in whether something works out, but in how you manage your curiosity so you can experience something new. And I find that, you know, as a Libra, and I'm younger spiritually than you guys, there is a need to, and maybe not, this is just a concept from one of my astrology teachers, that as you go up in the charts, you are wiser or more mature, more seasoned. I sense it's just like a library book. Just because you read Tolstoy doesn't mean that you've read Dr. Seuss, but reading Dr. Seuss could give you new insights than Tolstoy can. So it's just like you pick which life you need to learn the lessons of, and together as we harmonize with other people who are either learning their lessons or shelving their books early. They didn't finish the book, they just decided that they were done reading. We will start to connect the dots, grow and mature as we are in this life without a need to be more advanced or less advanced or more enlightened or less enlightened, to be shadow free or to be embracing and integrating our shadow. As long as we're conscious and aware of how much we could be resenting this level of connectivity within ourself, this will be what makes us aware of where we can start the new beginnings and having more fun, more play, Libra. Okay. Life is for learning, and right now your alignment tasks is to be with what is, which is perfect as it is. Look at the lessons in your life and how they are repeating. You will find that when you come to understand them, you'll know why your current situation happened. Everything has a purpose for new life. Even disappointments can turn into miracles. Trust that the goddess of the dawn, Yostra, will bring the light and hope into your heart for a good cause. Even if it's different from what you expect, it's always beautiful. Cool. So I want to look at the astrology with you all. So on the 13th, Mercury hits 29 degrees Libra. So this is definitely allowing for us to channel and align what we might have been fearing within ourselves, what was subversive in our nature. We didn't want to be controlled. It's like the punk rock element of us, and maybe we were building resentment because of people ahead of us or people who told us what to do and we didn't like it, Libra. But we can come into a forgiveness of those people and just let it go, let it drop, let it fall, and then have more energy to play, have more space within us to just have a good time, to enjoy what it is that we're collaborating with people on, to co-create joyful experiences, joyful memories, joyful times. And yes, while we do have to process our grief, and I know it takes a long time. I've been there. I've worked through mine as much as I can each day. As it comes up now, I'm able to surf it. I don't get caught up in the emotion, but we have to grow out of that. It's not just going to happen off the bat. It's going to be something that we grow out of, something that we really come into a cathartic healing and are able to just have fun, able to kick back and know that we are safe to enjoy ourselves, and that yes, those people who hurt us in the past did what they did, but that made us into the brave, wise person that we are now. So funny. I'm not going to pick up those cards. We're just going to go with these two. We're having fun today. I'm not doing work for your reading. We have Two of Fire and Life Experience. So Archangel Chamuel is here to help with spreading our wings. And you see here that there are new partnerships. So it's interesting to see the dragon wings and Chamuel's wings. So it's like you're able to ride the imagination, expand what you thought was possible, because again, it feels like there was like a mentor, or you went to some sort of like school program and people just like tried to brainwash you out of your fun. You might have believed it for a while, but we're throwing off the shutters. We're letting the sunlight stream in. And I said that the moment, because I just had my birthday, the moment is giving Natasha Bedingfield. The rest is still unwritten. Just listen to some Natasha Bedingfield and let your mind open to the possibilities. Ooh, I'm getting angel bumps. Maybe there's something really exciting that you're starting to embrace, and you're starting to look at your skill sets in a new way. And maybe, yeah, you have to just get really clear about what would fulfill you emotionally, because we have what our ancestors were fulfilled by emotionally, but we're living in a new time, a new age, a new era. And it's important that we embrace where we are, while honoring and integrating, of course, integrating what we learn in meditation, what we learn in our dream messages, and what we learn in our physical reality. Just for example, you might have people who you gather with, who you come together with, and they're able to impart some wisdom. They're able to share some stories that also help. I've been watching a lot of interviews and getting, people's favorite first songs and like their favorite memories. And it's important to process these things, as we now have people at our fingertips who we may wish to be in the same rooms as, and technically we are. So there's only a matter of time before, this reflection leads into some real prosperous outcomes, I sense. Uranus being Libra in our 8th house, at this 8 degrees. I'm going to pick up the cards. I lied. I have the ego card to prove it, and the Queen of Fire. You might have felt like you couldn't really express yourself with someone who you feel so connected to and so passionate around, but with time, we heal all wounds, and with that reflection of the Hanged Man, we heal all wounds. And you see here, we've got the 9 of Pentacles, and that 369 energy is giving Nikola Tesla. I have to tap in with him. As soon as I just almost remembered the film, Hugh Jackman is in it, and it's about Nikola Tesla is in it. He essentially was creating these inventions that were way before his time, and apparently Thomas Jefferson would like come and burn down his work because he was like, no, we're going to use electricity. I don't know what voodoo stuff you're using. Nikola Tesla with magnetics and able to create multiples of things. And it's just so interesting to see how there is genius that can be suppressed by people who aren't ready for it, or they have a lot invested in what is sustainable to them, what would work for them. So Libra, you're being asked to, come and try again, come and have another chance to express what it is that you want to create. We have the loom at the bottom of the deck, weave your fate. And there is magic in that. There is magic in opening up to resisting the ego, because the ego is tricky. It's a little slippery guy. It's like that bar of soap. You just have to make sure that you are aware of what your ego plays out as. What are the stories you tell yourself, and the pains that come along with those stories that could present and prevent you from opening up to your creative passion, your creative pursuits. I know for me, I claimed that I was going to do a set list or make a DJ set like weeks ago. And I didn't, but I took a baby step. I made a production, I made a playlist, and then I started listening to more and more artists. So it's just like, how can you tap the pulse of what it is that you want without having to necessarily do it all in a day? Get there with taking those baby steps this week, and it's going to pan out really beautifully. We have love light recognition, 17. So we will have the sun at 17 degrees Libra. I'm going to go to zoom in on that day. Mars and the sun are forming a square, so we're having to grow past what our legacy was. And maybe this is a generational thing. Maybe you had a grandparent who wanted you to be a doctor, so you went on to pursue medicine. However, there's a part of you that wants to give tea ceremonies, very much not a part of the medicinal world, but it's something that is cultural, and it invites people to come together and gather and have beautiful experiences. So let's see what's happening on the this is on Thursday, Jupiter Day. Venus will be at 20 degrees. So Venus in Scorpio Libra is our second house. I sense that we'll have a new passion for physical items in our space, things that we might have been waiting to use, or they've been collecting dust and we kind of dusted it off, and we're like, okay, there will come a time. Maybe it's like your Peloton bike and you just want to get back into your cycling practice, or maybe it's an actual kayak or something, and you're like, I can't wait to get out into the water, but your schedule's been off, so you haven't been able to quite indulge in these desires. However, there is a chance for you to weave your fate and create the life of your dreams. It's just going to require forgiveness, opening to new beginnings, and having fun. So whatever your ego squashes in you that tells you, no, this isn't fun, we have to get clear and write out our goals for the next, 9 hours, 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, 9 years. And it's challenging, it changes, but we're subject to change. We're free to change. We have the opening of new beginnings though, and play. So maybe to make this a little bit easier, why don't you write that out with a recognition of what would be the most fun, not what's the most possible, not what's the most next logical sequential step for me after all of these years of study, of practice, of training, but what would be the most fun thing for me to have in my life and to explore. Libra, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are a Libra rising sign watching this reading, I advise you pull up your chart under Equal and Coke and look at your houses. I would say your 6th and 11th house. So, 6th and 12th house. So the 6th house will show you in your daily life what is going on, how you guys can work through this energy, and watch that reading from me. And then watch your 12th house reading to see what the divine has for you, because there are some things that we just don't know, we can't see, but they are just as important as to how things are playing out. To my subscribers, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Go on ahead and watch your moon sign as well as your rising sign. Share one of my works with a friend. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, the bell so that you're notified when I go live for the week ahead. You guys can check that out. Find me on TikTok. Watch the 15-second summary of this reading if you want to share it with a friend and get them interested. Libra, until next time, aloha.